All right, what we got for you is AMC. Now, the trade that we wanted to put out there, and what we kind of wanted to tackle is dispelling all these things of don't sell premium at all when you get to these meme stock names. And I'm saying you can under controlled circumstances like these spreads that we're going to tell you about. So what I want to do with this video is I want to do a quick little overview of the trade we put out, and I want to explain piece by piece what you want to happen exactly at each point in time of this spread and through the course of maturity of the contract itself. So let's talk about what it is. Now, if you don't know anything about spreads or anything, or maybe you have just a slight bit of knowledge, the structure is kind of similar to a diagonal, okay? And that's kind of what we're going to be putting on here. All right, so first part of this. So we're talking June 18th, which is the date of this video that we're making this, about a week away. All right, so we have a week, and we're going to be selling the $20 put on that AMC. All right, so that means that we want price to be above even $20.01 by June 18th. And if that happens, we're going to collect that full amount. So that's probably we collected. It's going to be 166 that we collected from that put itself. So that means $160 are going to go into our pocket, and we want to use that money to fuel the backdated side of this spread, which is going to be the July contracts. Now, the July contracts is where we set up, where we say this is going to go back down. So what we're doing is we're basically putting on a debit vertical, but we're adding another element to it. So we're going to be buying the 20 put for the July, and then we're going to be selling the 10 put for the July as well. But we're also going to be buying the $8 put as well. And now you're probably saying, that's why are you doing that? Whatever. That is going to make sure that in case all of a sudden AMC comes crashing all the way back down under $20, it's going to be capped off at a loss for us. And so if it does come, let's say before June 18th, it's going to go dive under $10 and below. By buying that $8 put, we're going to cap this roughly at about a $500, $600 loss, depending on where you get in at this, instead of taking the full force of that whole time that you're short the 20, and you're also the debit vertical from the July can't keep up with being short from the 20. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. But if you're not following along, look at the structure of the trade itself. Before June 18th, what you want to happen, the blue line is the expiration, and the speed and movement of the contracts is the purple line. So as the day-to-day changes, that it starts to slowly inflate into that blue line. And so after June 18th, you'll see the structure that you have for the after June 18th expiration that looks similar, kind of like if you want the exponential slope that it has all the way back down to reality after this meme craziness settles down, hopefully. And that's what you want out of this trade. So you're risking to the upside about $150, $600 to the downside. It gives you a big wide range currently that you can make money off of. Or you can simply just take the trade off of on June 18th if you're not seeing any signs of this coming down. All right, so another trade that I really wanted to talk about that somebody was doing out there that I wanted to go into why they would do this, why they would want this, but also make sure that people understand the crazy amount of insane risk that you're putting on. Okay, so they're putting on basically they're going to be shorting the 145 calls and then buying the 140 calls, all right? But they're also going to be adding just a little bit more to the 145 calls by one contract. And what that does is that creates basically a credit across all the way up to that 140 at about 120, I want to say. So no matter what, if it closes anywhere under 140, you make $120 per contract that you would take. The only thing about that if this does truly go exponential and just goes crazy just like GameStop did, they have that open exposure by being short that 145, which gives them an unlimited loss potential based off of how fast it moves. All right, so crazy. But the way that they can counteract that is by shorting, if it gets to that 260 mark, 100 shares, to offset that and bring that back down, that spread being long 23 contracts and then short the 24 contracts of the 145, they can now short 100 shares, and it shifts that back down to basically a debit vertical again, and that's where they can make money and cap it off. But overnight exposure, something just randomly happens. It requires timing and it requires constant attention in order for it to happen. But if they do get this and they do get that 145 pin, we'll call it, they make a crap ton of money off that. It's about like 10K. So it's a lot of money, but an insane amount of risk that I don't think anybody should have, because we've seen people blow up when people said that GameStop wouldn't have it reach $100 or $60 or so on. So it's just something you need to you need to consider when you take these types of trades, is that you can add the certain aspects of that and hedge the actual play itself by shorting that 100 shares and moving forward. All right, so hopefully that explains the two trades for AMC. We have the diagonal shape trade for me that came out, being the short the June 18th 20 put, and then longing the July 20th put, short the July 10th put, and then longing the 8 put, to create that back to reality play, and then the ratio spread on the other side with the unlimited loss potential. All right, so we'll keep coming at you with these types of plays, describing them, breaking down what you want, when you want it, what would happen during these sides of things, and hopefully you enjoy them.
Your girl got hips that I got two touch, lighter than her lips when I'm about to nut. Keep your eye on your chick, cause I got two nuts and she on one.